to be here, but no sign of Joey Spencer as yet. Do you think he just can't find his way through the door, or
Listen,
there's something to be concerned about?
He's not from here, okay? So, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Joey, his team, I've known them for a very long time. They've always been professional. So I think this is just a small hiccup on fight week, and they'll get here and we'll move on.
All right, we sit back and we wait for him to arrive. But you being here for Tszyu's return, probably a bit earlier than what you expected, given after what happened in Orlando, you said that, hey, Tim should take a bit of a break, step away from the sport. What do you make of the fact that he's back in the ring 6 months later?
I kind of have to contradict what I said. I looked at the record of Tszyu since 2023. He had 3 big fights in 23. Comes back, he's got 2 big fights in 2024, above which he lost one, a humongous cut. And he comes back 6 months after a humongous cut, and he, in a lot of ways, respectfully got pummeled against Murtazaliev in that fight as well. But the thing I noted is it's his pace. That hasn't changed. The good of 2023, wow, he's on a roll. The bad of 2022, and wow, he's going to keep going. So he's right back. This is just who he is, and I really appreciate that, because my thing is you have to be who you are, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, and he's proven that right now, that he's still a warrior, and he's coming back. Yeah,
there was the option for Tim, obviously, to ease his way back and take on a domestic opponent. Do you believe he did make the right decision, though, by ignoring that advice, jumping straight back in the deep end with someone world-class like Spencer?
Yeah, when I said I felt he should take some time off, again, looking at his pace, I said it's just a lot of work in like 2 years, maybe even give or take that, if we're playing with the months. So I felt like he should take some time off. But then again, when you look at the fact that a humongous cut, he comes right back from that, and then the big fight that he lost against Murtazaliev, and he's willing to come back. I said, you know what, that's just who Tim is. So Tim isn't someone who's willing to take a lesser opponent. We know that when he had the opportunity to fight a different fighter, he ended up fighting the kid from Mexico, you know what I mean? So he's shown that he's always going to step up to a big challenge. If the big challenge isn't there, neither is Tszyu. So I love it.
Well, then, of course, to have Keith Thurman waiting in the wings. We've seen Tim be guilty in the past of overlooking opponents. Do you think there is a chance of that happening again? Are you concerned about the talk around Thurman?
The thing that was said about the Murtazaliev fight, I asked, hey, how's Tim doing? He's good. I said, yeah, but how's his mental going? How does he feel about the fight? He said, well, he knows that he effed up. That's what he said to me. He effed up. And I have to, but I, as a fighter, as an athlete, as a competitor, I get it. When you can see what I did wrong, and almost immediately, I'm checking on the kid a week after the fight, and he's already saying those sorts of things. It lets me know he knew exactly what he did wrong. And to the point of your question, something such as trying to read the forecast beyond what's in front of you, he's not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah, I know you've only been here for a short time in Oz, but what have you picked up about his demeanour this time? I suppose compared to what we saw in Orlando, he did look very relaxed. There wasn't really any sign of anything going wrong in Orlando. He looks very relaxed this time. Is there anything that you've picked up?
It seems a little bit more relaxed than Orlando. I felt like there were some other things going on in Orlando that we could probably talk about, but we won't today. But I walked up to him and I said hello to him, and it's a great smile. The energy was even a little different when I just spoke to him. And I always say a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. Tim's happy today.
I think the one thing I noticed was he was here about 20 minutes early. In the past, we've seen him perhaps even be late, rock up as the press conference is starting, rock out of a vintage car or a Lamborghini or something a bit different. That showmanship seems to have gone. He seems a lot more humble today, a little bit different in that regard as well.
I think it's his sense of urgency more than it is, the showmanship or whatever. I think it's his sense of urgency to get back, to right the wrong, to erase in everybody's mental what happened last year. And I think that's what we're seeing, him show up early. I just want to get there. So let me get this out of the way. Let me enjoy it, get on to the weigh-in, and then to fight night. So I think that this is a sense of urgency, and I think it's really good for him.
Yeah, and a healthier build-up as well. I know we don't want to harp too much on Dad Kostya being there in Orlando, but I suppose in the end that did prove a bit of a distraction. We talked about that in the lead-up, whether it might be just having that Dad's presence after not seeing him for so long and having that extra voice in his ear. In the end, that probably was a little bit detrimental.
Listen, when you're a fighter and you have a team you have to make sure that every addition to the team makes sense. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a matter of timing. I personally feel like it was just a matter of timing for Tim and his dad with that fight specifically. I think if the fight had gone the right way, if he was able to get up off the mat a couple of times and weather the storms and win that fight, we probably will be having a different conversation now. So again, you have ups and downs. Every experience is a learning experience, and I think that it was a hard way to learn a lesson, but they learn.
What do you think we're going to see in this? Actually, no, I think we're going to get up to Ben Damon now. Let's take you there.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Newcastle and welcome to Fight Week. We're just a couple of days away now from this huge fight, the return to Newcastle of Australia's Tim Tszyu against America's Joey Spencer. All the action at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre this Sunday. You can see it, of course, live on Main Event Television. To go through some of the times for you about Fight Day, 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It'll all start in the morning here in Australia, and that'll be the prelims on Fox Sports. Then at 11, we switch over to main event pay-per-view, with our main event, of course, taking place around lunchtime with Tim Tszyu up against Joey Spencer. So a full day of boxing this Sunday on main events and at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. My name's Ben Damon. Really pleased to be here ahead of this huge fight, and such an important fight in the professional boxing career of Australia's former world champion in Tim Tszyu. It is all brought to you, of course, by No Limit Boxing Promotions. I'm going to start with the big boss there, George Rose. And George, we've been talking about this fight through the course of this week. A lot of drama with regards to some judging issues and Joey Spencer potentially getting on a plane and heading home. Well, he's not here. What has occurred? Where is Joey Spencer? And is everything okay?
Drama doesn't stop, does it, Ben? It all adds to the hype of bringing a fight back here to Newcastle, the Battle of Newcastle. Joey Spencer will be here. He hasn't flown home. He is just around the corner. He's not far away. Blame it on the Newcastle traffic. There's so much traffic here in Newcastle. It slows you down. So he's not
no
far
one here.
off.
There's no traffic. No excuses.
He's not far off.
Okay, so we don't have to call Michael Zarafa, we're okay?
Michael might be not far away, actually. He's probably lurking around here somewhere ready to go.
Okay, well, assuming he does turn up, Joey Spencer, and we certainly hope that he'll be here very, very shortly, what a fight we have in store. A lot of people asking through the course of this week, how does Tim Tszyu look and what is he saying? What do you think this version of Tim Tszyu is that sits next to you here today?
No, well, I think he looks amazing, and it's you just need to look at him to know how good of a shape he's in. He's always training hard. He's always ready. He's always prepared. I think it's exciting for all of us because for so long we've backed Tim Tszyu all the way to the top. Everybody believes in Tim Tszyu all the way to the top. And coming off his last two performances, now people are starting to, wonder what we're going to get to see from him. I know what we're going to get from Tim Tszyu, especially when Tim Tszyu fights in Newcastle. Every time he's come here, he's put on an absolute show. Every time he's fought in Australia, he's put on an absolute show. So I know what's going to come from him on Sunday, and I just think you should tune in and enjoy the fireworks that Tim Tszyu is going to bring. He's an absolutely entertaining fighter. We've got a fantastic card, but when you've got Tim Tszyu sitting at the top, you know he's going to put on a show.
Yeah, we've had incredible nights at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. What are your memories of going to that venue and enjoying these occasions, which have been some of the best nights in the history of Australian boxing?
It's crazy because you walk into there when the event's not on, it's just a big shed. It's a big shed with nothing there. When the Newcastle people turn up, it becomes something special. It's a whole nother atmosphere there. Newcastle people are built different, right? They're fighters. They're great sporting fans. It's a very great sporting city, Newcastle, and that's why we love coming here, because every time we come here, the fans turn out, the fans are rowdy, the fans are loud, and they love a good time. That's why we love putting on a good show for them. That's why we put together a fantastic show here. If you look at the undercard here from my left to right, every one of these fighters, not only are they some of the best fighters in Australia, they're some of the most entertaining. From Isaiah Tszyu down here to Brent Walton, every one of these guys is a fantastic, entertaining fighter. They've all put on a show. Every time we come to Newcastle, people try to steal the show. People try to steal the show. You're going to have to do a real good job to try to steal the show from Tim Tszyu.
Tell us about your nerves, George, because you're in the Tim Tszyu business, that is for sure. Another loss here would be catastrophic. How are you feeling ahead of this fight?
I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm here to see Tszyu win on Sunday, and I think everybody else here is feeling the same too. We know what Tszyu can do. Everybody knows what Tszyu can do. Tszyu is the best in the 154-pound division. All we need is the time to show it. This is the first step back. We're on the doorstep of one of the great comebacks in Australian sport, and that's Tszyu getting all the way back to the top. And this fight here on Sunday is the first step in that. Tszyu climbing his way straight back to the top to take off every one of them guys in the 154-pound division.
I think I know why Joey Spencer isn't here, actually. You've put him in between the two heavyweights. That's where he's meant to be sitting, between Brandon Grach and Liam Taliva'a, who are about to throw down in a rematch of the 2023 Fight of the Year. Shouldn't you be in between those two blokes?
No, well, they had my name there, and I said, don't put me in between. And I've seen everything that's been happening over the last few days. I don't want to be anywhere between these two. These two are the two heaviest hands in Australia. Hands down, there is nobody with heavier hands than these two guys here. And everybody needs to give both of these guys credit for stepping in the ring together, because this is a fight that not many heavyweights step into fights like this. These are two of the heaviest hands in the country, and they're stepping in against each other. Not many other heavyweights are doing that. These boys are putting the Australian heavyweight division back on the map by taking this fight. And I guarantee you, no matter what happens, whichever way it goes, because it can go either way. I'm absolutely telling you, whoever lands first, that's who wins. But whatever happens after this fight, I don't care. We will work with these guys every day of the week. Every other fight show that we've got, whenever they want to fight, we'll be working with them no matter what, no matter the outcome, because these guys deserve credit for stepping in the ring against each other. And Australian boxing, Australian sporting fans are the ones who get the reward of seeing these two go at it, because they are two of the best in the country, and I guarantee that they'll beat anybody else that they step in with.
Have you enjoyed the build-up between those two? They have really flicked the switch this week.
No, it's a weird one. Like I usually enjoy the trash talk. I usually enjoy the hype, but I've been absolutely shitting myself, Ben. Every time they come at each other, I'm thinking, I don't want to be the one that's caught in the middle. What am I meant to do? Am I meant to try and break these two up? I can't do that.
Well, do you want to get up and move in between them now?
No, I don't, Ben. I don't want to be a part of this. I want these two to settle it in the ring, and I'm happy for that to happen. But these two are two blokes that I just absolutely would not mess with, and whatever they want to do, they can do it, because I'm not stopping them.
I can tell you as well, there is still no sign of Joey Spencer. We have people downstairs, so we're keeping an eye out for Joey Spencer ahead of this fight. Hopefully he is not too far away, but we'll just wait and see. Anything else you want to tell us, George, regarding tickets at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, or anything else you're excited about on this undercard?
I am stoked for this event. As I said, every time we come to Newcastle, they turn it on. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great event. Ringside sold out. You've no chance of sitting ringside. There are a few tickets still available in the stand, so anybody locally who wants to come down, get amongst it. It'll be a great day of fights. But this card, if you're coming down, make sure you get there early. If you're tuning in, make sure you tune in early, because this undercard here is stacked full of talent, from young stars on debut to Olympians ready to showcase. Callum Peters is back. I'm really excited for Callum. He's going to put on an absolute show. We've got some really good matchups here. Cole Mazzutia, Dan Hill, they're going to absolutely turn it on. And we've got Andre back, coming off a world title shot. We've got guys who have fought for world titles. We've got guys who have been Olympians, guys who are on debut. It's an absolute cracker card. Like, I am stoked for it. And like I said, if we're coming to Newcastle, we've got to make sure you give it a good show, because I know that the fans turn up. I know the fans absolutely love it. So we wanted to make sure we had a good card for you. From top to bottom, this is going to be an absolute cracker.
Well, George, I've got some good news for you. Tszyu has an opponent, because Joey Spencer has arrived and joined us here at today's press conference. So America's Joey Spencer has arrived here in Newcastle ahead of this all-important fight that we will, of course, see this Sunday live on Main Event Television. Thank you so much, George, as Joey takes his place. Thanks for joining us, Joey. Good to see you. We'll talk through some of the big fights that form this stacked undercard, and I mentioned that the prelims will start at 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time this Sunday. Headlining the prelims is a fight between a former world title challenger in Andre Mikhailovich. He fights against Blake Wells from Melbourne, and that's where we'll start. So two from the ends down on the front table. Blake, great to see you here on this big stage. Is this the biggest fight of your professional boxing life?
Yeah, mate, definitely the biggest fight. Very grateful for the opportunity, and, come Sunday, I can't wait to make the most of it.
I'm sure it's a fight you've taken with confidence. What did you see in that performance by Mikhailovic, who impressed plenty in his world title shot against Janibek, that makes you confident you can beat him in this fight?
Oh, I'm not too worried about his past performance. I'm worried about how he's going to be on Sunday. But, you know, he was very tough, turned up and had a real crack in that fight, and that's what I'm expecting on Sunday.
And is this a springboard fight for you, do you feel? It's a stacked division at the moment in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of good boys, a lot of big names, and, you know, I'd like to get out there and prove myself and show that, you know, I can mix it with these fellas.
Okay, thank you, Blake. I'll go now to former world title challenger in Andre Mikhailovic. Andre, what's been happening since last we saw you in that world title shot against Janibek?
What have I been doing? I've been training, been a dad, you know, had a bit of a rest after my last fight. And yeah, just been in the gym and just cracking on with life. You know, you learn a lot from your losses. So I'm just excited to be back in the ring. Excited to be in Newcastle. It's beautiful here. And yeah, just doing my job, which is to be a professional athlete. What did you learn out of that fight? You just mentioned you learned a lot. What did you get out of it? You know, you learn a lot, man. Janibek is fantastic, and he put on a great show and beat me. So, you know, you watch it back and you take away what you can, and you just look to improve in the gym. That's what you can really do. And Blake Wells, what sort of a test does he provide for you, do you feel? Blake Wells is a good boxer, man. He's solid, tough, good southpaw, so I'm looking forward to a good fight with him, man. I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited to get in there and do what I do and have a good old rumble with him, so yeah. And how do you think it goes, this fight? What are you expecting? You know, he's a solid boxer, man, so I expect a bit of boxing, a bit of like tussling, to and froing, and yeah, just getting the win, hopefully. So, yeah, excited. Okay, thanks so much. That is Andre Mikhailovic and Blake Wells. They'll headline the prelims on Fox Sports, and then we'll go to main event pay-per-view. This will start the broadcast at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, a fight between local boy Brent Walton and this man, Isaiah Tszyu, who joins us down at the front table at the very end. Isaiah, it's good to see you again. Congratulations on becoming a father since last we saw you in the ring.
Yeah, thank you. It's been good, man.
And what has that done to change the professional boxing lifestyle that you have?
To be honest with you, I thought I was locked in before, but until my son came, it kind of changed everything. And now there's nothing really more to it than just to get what needs to be done. And yeah.
Your team tells me you've had a bit of trouble trying to get someone in the opposite corner, trying to get fights.
Always pull-outs here, pull-outs there. Asking for more time is what it is, but I put in the work and then we go out and display.
And what do you know about Brent Walton? I'm sure you watched that outstanding fight that he had with Darren Garrett-Truella. What else do you know?
Nah, I seen that. Yeah, he's pressure here, pressure there. Look, he's all right. I'll give him that, but I know I'm better, and come Sunday, you will too.
And do you have a new pair of your trademark Chuck Taylor Converse sneakers for us?
Yes, sir. Converse sponsor us.
Okay. All right, we'll go down to the other end of the front table with local boy Brent Walton. Brent, just talk about the occasion of fighting here in Newcastle, given that you were in the stands watching Tszyu against Dennis Hogan here 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's huge, man. It's huge. Firstly, I just want to say thanks to the Rose Boys for having me on again in my hometown. It's good to be back. But yeah, no, it's massive. You know, I had my first ever amateur fight 4 years ago. Then 3 days later, I come to watch Dennis Hogan versus Tszyu, and now I'm fighting on the undercard.
Yeah, I'm sure that things have changed a lot for you in that time. How many fans and friends and family have you got coming along to the entertainment centre on Sunday?
Oh, can't count it, bro. The whole of Newcastle's coming, baby.
What does this mean to Newcastle, having an event like this, having Tszyu back in town and having fighters like yourself and Brandon Grach and others on this card?
Oh, it's massive, man. It's massive. You know, that's why they call it Tszyu Castle. Just before they call it Tszyu Castle, they call it Walton Castle up until the main fight. But no, up until then, yeah. And then the bull's on, and everyone loves him, man. Like it's the bull show at the media workout the other day. So I think it's pretty exciting for Newcastle and all the local boys here. And tell us what happens in this fight between yourself and Isaiah Tszyu. I think a go out. I think it's going to be a good fight. You know, he's crafty. He's a slippery fella. I watch most of his fights, knowing he'll probably be an opponent one day. But I think I'll win. Yeah, I think I don't know. I can't tell you too much, bro.
Okay, thanks so much, Brent Walton and Isaiah Tszyu. They'll start the pay-per-view at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and I'll go right into the centre of that front table with a Commonwealth Games silver medalist and former Olympian in Callum Peters, who will fight against William Lenihan in his fight, which will be second on the pay-per-view broadcast on Sunday. Callum, great to see you. How are you, and how are you enjoying the occasion of being back on this big stage?
I'm very good, just training, same old. Very excited to fight on this card for No Limit. I'm very grateful to be here in Newcastle. First time here, I'm loving it. Can't wait to put a show on for everyone.
You're not just training, you had a fight, an amateur fight on the weekend. I know you were trying to get a fight for next weekend as well. Do you ever just have a rest?
Training, fighting's full time. The best place to learn is in the ring. I'm just trying to get much experience as I can throughout the year. Already got 9 fights through the year. It's only the 4th month in, so trying to get to 200 fights maybe in the year. Who knows?
Just 200 fights.
No, try to.
Okay. Well, you had a fight against this opponent in the amateurs. What do you remember of that experience, and how did things go?
I got the win, by the way. Let everyone know. Just, let people come on, give respect to Cow, all right? But so he's a good fighter. He likes to throw volume as me, but not as hard as me, let's be honest. So he's a good fighter, good lad as well. We should put a cracker fighter on for this weekend.
And when you sit up here, do you picture yourself up the top here and headlining these sorts of shows, Callum? Because I know there's a lot of excitement around what you're doing.
I can't wait to be up there. Who knows, I might throw some chairs down, start some drama. But I can't wait to be up there with the best.
Okay, we'll just leave the chairs alone. But thank you so much, Callum Peters. Looking forward to seeing him in his second professional fight that you will see this Sunday as part of this Stacked pay-per-view event. Next up, we're going to talk about the Australian Super Welterweight title. This is a fight between Dan Hill, who is the champion, and this man, Koen Mazudia. Koen, great to see you again. What would it mean to win an Australian title and on a big stage like this for you?
Yeah, thanks, Benny. Yeah, it's good to be back. Keen to get in there. Australian title, something I've always wanted to win, and I'm a proud Australian, so being an Australian champion is something that is important to me, and will cement my position as one of the best in the division, if not the best in Australia, and then looking to take on anyone and everyone else.
What do you know about Dan Hill? He's someone who's been around in Australian boxing for some time. We know his style. He's called the Engine for a reason. He'll come forward. This can't be anything but an exciting fight, can it? Yeah,
everyone knows what I bring now, I was privileged to headline the last fight I had with Nikita. We put on a war 2024 fight of the year. We've got 2023 fight of the year rematch, one half the 2024 fight of the year here. Dan Hill is the engine, he comes forward, he comes to bring that sort of pace, and I'm going to be there right in front of him. I think I'm going to be on the front foot. I think he's going to realise that he's only carrying a 4-cylinder instead of a V8 like he thinks he is.
And what is it like fighting on these sorts of cards, Coen? You've done it plenty of times. You mentioned you headlined against Nikita Tszyu in the fight of the year last year. You've fought on this stage plenty of times. What is it like going in there as a fighter at a sold-out Newcastle Entertainment Centre and venues like that? Yeah, it's awesome, man. Last time I was here was the first time I fought Wade when Tim fought Dennis Hogan. And cracker crowd, cracker environment. The Newcastle fans go wild, so I'm looking forward to getting under those lights and putting on the show. Okay, thanks, Coen. I'll go to the defending Australian champion, Dan Hill. Dan, great to see you. Welcome. How excited are you about being on this stage and fighting someone like Koen Mazudia in what has to be an exciting style of a fight?
Yeah, I'm super pumped to be here. Thanks to the No Limit boys for having me on. Coen's a worthy opponent. I've had my eyes on him for a long time, and I'm just grateful I get the opportunity to fight him, and I can't wait to stand across the ring with him, and two guys going to go at it. Both got similar styles. We'll see what happens. Why do you believe that you beat Koen? I believe I'm a better boxer. I'm not just a come-forward fighter. I've got skills, and I'm looking to show that to Australia. And like I said, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and prove it to everyone that I belong here on the Australian scene, and I am the best. So. Koen just mentioned that he had that outstanding fight with Nikita Tszyu late last year. Is that someone with victory over Koen here that you would like to fight in the not-too-distant future? Yeah, of course. I've had my eyes on Nikita for a long time, like a lot of super welterweights have, and it's one fight I always want. I want to fight the best people, and Koen's one of the best. Nikita's definitely one of the best, but just for now, I've got my sights set on Koen, not getting too far ahead of myself. So Koen's on my mind right now, but Nikita, I'd love that fight.
Okay, thanks. That is the Australian super welterweight champion Dan Hill and challenger Colin Mazudia. That's a big fight that you'll see as part of this card. I should mention this fight as well. Endri Saavedra is well known to the Australian audience. He'll take on Mikkel Nielsen from Denmark in a really good fight that we'll see on this card as well. And then we will go to the rematch that everybody is talking about, the heavyweights colliding for a second time after that insane fight that went for a round and a few seconds in 2023. Brandon Grach, the Bull, and Liam Taliva'a. It is an outstanding fight and has all of Australian boxing talking. I'll start with Liam Taliva'a, who is down at the end of the top table. Liam, a lot of talk, a lot of animosity through the course of the last few days. As you just gaze to your right and have a look at Brandon Grach, how are you feeling about that man right now?
Just ready to rock and roll, man. But before I continue, I just want to give all the glory to my Heavenly Father for this opportunity that He has presented me to correct things and make my career back into the right path. Man, it's just big. It's so good to be back in Newcastle. This is my third time here in Newcastle, and man, from arriving yesterday, the love has been great, man. So big love to Newcastle. It's good to be back here again, and good to make things right here.
What are your memories of that fight, though? It was, of course, an incredible first round where both fighters went down, but then you were savagely knocked out in the second round of that fight. How do you look back on what happened?
Oh, look, mate, we all make mistakes, and that's just boxing. That's heavyweight boxing. One punch changes everything, you know what I mean? Can change everything, sorry. And that's exactly just what happened. We all saw what the first round how the first round went, and that was boxing. I earned every punch to put him on a canvas, and just went in there carelessly with no plan. And just like I said, we all make mistakes, and I just got hit with a lucky punch, and then obviously, yeah.
I've heard you call it a lucky punch and also a scared punch.
Yeah, obviously, if you've got someone like me running towards you 100 miles an hour, obviously you're going to chuck whatever you're going to chuck. And then I just got caught with it.
I'll go straight to Brandon Grach. Lucky punch, scared punch, is that how you look back on it?
Absolutely not. I landed on you once, you went down. Was I lucky the second time? Was I lucky with John Mailer? I don't think so. So,
Two different boys,
out of the question.
Two different boys, mate.
Bring it, Sunday, bro.
How do you look back on what happened that night, Brandon?
Obviously, I've got good memories. It was an awesome fight, hey. What can I say about it? You know, we both had different opponents for that fight. They both pulled out. I got the call, do I want to fight Liam Taliva'a in my second professional fight? Absolutely. In Newcastle, in front of my hometown fans, why not? When these opportunities come, you take it. You know, that's what a fighter does, and I'm a fighter. Everybody saw in 2023 November that I'm a fighter. You might knock me down, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to put your lights out.
And what is going to happen in this fight, Brandon, in this rematch on Sunday?
Man, more of the same. Fireworks and everything more than the last time, if it goes more than 2 rounds. Will it? I don't know. But, man, I don't think this guy understands how hard I've been training since I come back from my injury. I've been sparring 8 rounds for ages, Ben, with fresh opponents, keep coming him in, bringing him in. What happens when he starts to deteriorate and starts to fade? He made mistakes early in round 1 and round 2. What happens when he starts to get gassed? I've got the IQ and the power to position myself. The moment his concentration lapses, there's a hole, I'm taking it, I'm jumping on him, bang, 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 it's lights out, all over again.
Liam, you two have had a conversation going through the course of this week. Respond, please, to Brandon after what he's just said.
Oh, man, this guy is so ahead of himself. He just doesn't understand that. And one thing about boxing we know very well is that you never take your losses to your heart and you don't take your wins to your head. And that's exactly what's happening. He's taking his wins straight to his head. He thinks he's unstoppable or something like that. I think he forgot that I put him down on the first round. No. And it comes Sunday night, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then he's just going to feel the end of what it was supposed to happen on that night. And that's just how it is. This guy thinks he's some god in this sport. He knows that this game is not about power. It's not how big you are. It's not how, it all comes down to how you perform on that night. And basically, power is not going to get you nowhere, brother. And I'm telling you this much. We've seen it with the greats. We see it with all the big punches. We just saw it with Joseph Parker and Bacoli. He got put down in the second round just because he thought he can walk through him. If you think you're going to walk through me, brother, you're going to have a hard night, mate. So we'll see you on Sunday.
Bring it. Bring the energy. I love it, bro. Love it.
What do you think you're seeing here, Brandon? How do you feel about how Liam's talking here today and how he's seeing this fight?
Look, good on him for taking the fight. I mean, you know, fucking he got knocked out ice cold. How many people can come back from that?
That's all you got on me, eh? That's all you have right now to come back at me, brother, is that you knocked me out on that second. Mate, the greats got knocked out, all right? And look where I am right now, right back in your face. That's where it counts, mate.
Good.
So
it does. It counts
we'll
on
see you on Sunday.
You will. This is going to be a great fight, man. This is going to be a great fight. He's right. The greats went down. Some get back up and keep punching on. He's here. He's going to bring it again on Sunday. I'm going to bring it on Sunday. Newey fans are in for a treat.
I'll just finish by getting the pair of you to tell each other what's going to happen in this fight. If I could start with you, Brandon. Can you just tell Liam what's going to happen in this rematch on Sunday?
Mate, I don't care what you think about me or the last fight or whatever. This is a new fight and it's a new day, but the same thing's going to happen again. I don't care if it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. I've got the fitness, I've got the speed, the power, the IQ, the heart, the ticker, all the tools, mate. All the tools to get the job done, and you're not leaving the fight with your hand raised. I am.
Mad.
Liam, your response to
brother,
Brandon?
I'm here at the press conference. I'm not here for therapy, brother, so I'm just waiting for Sunday, so let's rock and roll. Straight out.
Let's rock and roll indeed.
Straight out.
Yeah, let's hear it for the heavyweights, just for taking this fight. Brandon Grach and Liam Taliba, a rematch we simply had to see, and we will see it in the co-main event this Sunday. Cannot wait for the heavyweights to collide a second time. And that will take us to the main event. It is between Australia's Tszyu and America's Joey Spencer, who have so much on the line in this fight that will be seen right across the world. I'll start with Joey Spencer, who joins us from the USA, a record of 19-1, and has a major opportunity in a big fight here against Tszyu. Joey, great to see you. A lot of drama through the course of fight week. We thought you might be going home then. You had us all scared here when you weren't here for the press conference. What happened?
I was never going home. I was always ready to fight. That was never on the table. There was some little clickbait stuff in the media that I might be pulling out of the fight. That was never the case. We just needed to make sure that what we agreed to before the fight was signed was what ended up happening. You know, this is something that we had talked about 3 months ago. And so they did what was right, and we got the judges straight. We're ready to fight.
And you kept us waiting here again this afternoon. Where have you been?
Where have I been? I didn't even realize I was late.
Okay.
I didn't even realize. I apologize to everybody for being late, and you know, yeah, won't happen again.
That's all good. Don't be late on Sunday, though, please.
No. I'll be there on Sunday on time, trust me.
Tell us what this opportunity represents to you in your professional boxing career. We know what you've done as an amateur and as a professional, but now you're truly on the big stage here against Tszyu. On the other side of the world, what does this represent to you?
Man, it represents a dream come true. Dream come true. This is what I've wanted to do my entire life. You know, thank God for the opportunity to live out my dream. And everybody should chase their dreams. I've chased mine, and here I am. And I believe with all my heart that this is my time. Everything has come together for this opportunity. And so I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the people here. And it's just great. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be just more thankful.
And you're clearly very confident about this fight. What has made you so confident that you do beat Tszyu?
Just what I know I've put in, what I know I've got inside me. I feel like my journey has brought me to this point. You know, like I said, my opponent, I've said this before, my opponent's a great opponent. He's done great things. I think he's extremely dangerous. But at the end of the day, it's not about him, it's about me. And I feel like I've got what it takes to be at this level and to win this fight.
So much talk about what style of a fight we're going to see. We saw Tszyu the other day in our face-off say that he's going to choose violence in the early stages. He's going to go at you. What are you expecting to happen in this fight?
I don't know. Like I said, it's not all about what he does. It's about what I do as well. It's two guys are going to be in there in the ring, and we're going to have to adapt and adjust to each other. You know, I'm not arrogant enough to say that, you know, I'm just going to be able to choose what I do in this fight and and he's not going to respond, right? We're both going to have to respond to each other. I believe this is going to be a competitive fight. And so that means that there's going to be ebbs and flows, adjustments to be made. So we'll see what he comes out with. I'm going to come out with what I come out with, and we'll see what happens 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Do you feel he's underestimating you then if he's saying that he can choose the pace of the early rounds of this fight?
I don't really know. I don't know if he's underestimating me or not. I'm not inside his head. You know, he says something different every interview, so we don't know what he really feels or thinks. It's probably good on his part, right? I mean, you know, to keep everybody else guessing. So, but that's why I'm not focused on him. I don't need to read into what he's saying. At the end of the day, we're going to come in and we're going to fight, and we'll see what happens.
This is a major international event, so will be broadcast live in the United States as well as here in Australia. What's your message to all your American fans watching back home and to the Australian fans here who are probably on the side of Tszyu?
Yeah, I mean, everybody who's tuning into the fight, that's what makes it possible for us to be able to get in the ring and then, you know, feed our family doing what we love to do. So everybody who is tuning in, supporting this fight, you know, thank you. And to my people back home, to the Americans, to my people in my hometown and my hometown area, I do this for you guys. I do this for my family every time I step out there. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you guys for all the support.
That is Joey Spencer, and now I'll talk to Australia's former world champion in Tszyu, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, great to see you again. You've been waking up with a different mindset every morning this week. What is it today? How do you start this fight? How does this fight go?
First of all, thank you for everyone being here. I'm glad to be back in Newcastle, back in Australia. How does this fight start? Well, look, it could start either way, but center of the ring it begins, and I'll be there right in the middle to do what I always do and to meet him there. So we shall see.
What do you think Joey wants you to do in this fight? A lot of talk about judging through the course of the week. Do you think he's trying to outbox you and take this to 10 rounds?
I don't really listen to interviews, nor do I watch and read stuff in the media. I just get a couple phone calls from managers, from promoters that let me be aware of the scenario. All I got told was about these judges. That pissed me off, you know. It pissed me off for the fact that whenever we travel, all of us Aussies, we don't get that luxury. You know, we just get what we get. And, you know, for them to come with this mentality...
Your team wanted neutral judging.
It's diva-like in my eyes.
Your team wanted neutral judging.
Look, I'm not saying anything, bro.
Your team wanted neutral judging.
All right, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. There's no problem.
He's trying to manufacture...
There's no for it, but this is what I'm coming from. From my side, I would never go down that path.
Keep trying to psych yourself up.
Trying to what?
Psych yourself up.
Psych myself up?
Yeah, that's what
in what way am I psyching myself up, bro?
You're trying to manufacture something that's not there.
No, man.
Yeah.
No.
It's Well, it's fiction. Fiction, what you're saying.
Fiction.
Your team.
It's the truth.
Your team wanted...
Did you change the judges?
Your team wanted neutral judges.
Who wanted neutral judges?
Mr. Rose.
Yeah, so be it.
So be it what?
So be it.
We were all on the same page.
You were the guys that started complaining about it.
We all talked about it.
Who was complaining? Who was sucking? Who was sucking about going on a plane back home for neutral judges? Wasn't me.
Not me.
I was kicking back at home.
Maybe you should start reading.
Well, there you go.
And guess what, Tszyu?
This is what I've been told. I'm sitting on my couch at home.
You've been
telling
lied to.
You guys are about to go.
You've been lied to.
Of course.
Lied to.
All right.
Yeah.
The beauty of it all is we're able to step in.
Think about
your problem. So.
Thank God you're here.
Think about
15
your
minutes
situation.
late. Thank God you're here.
Think about your situation.
Your hair.
Your team lies to you. Your team lies to you. Your team lies to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need you to be all fired up. They're worried about you.
I'm chilled, brother.
They're worried about you. In fact,
I am relaxed.
Everybody should be.
Why is that, Joey? Why should everyone be worried?
Because, like I said, if he needs so badly to manufacture and create this big drama that was never even there, then obviously he's worried about something. That's what it is. Yeah, you're worried.
I'm scared. So scared.
His name's a soul taker. He got his soul taken.
Yeah, that's all right.
So
you know,
I'll see you.
A lot of
maybe
grades,
that's
again, a lot of grades fall.
Maybe that's why you're
And it's not about how you fall, it's about how you get back up. And this is my redemption. This is how I get back up.
Okay, good for you.
And you're part of the story, so thank you for that.
And that's cool. I'm very thankful for it, too. I'm thankful to be here. But at the end of the day, don't say something happened that didn't happen, because we have it in writing.
That's what I've been told, man.
We have it in writing.
Don't shoot the
messenger. We can put it out.
You guys requested the judges. We made it happen. We put in the request through the Combat Sports Authority to get the WBO.
It was either you or your brother.
sanctioning.
It was either you or your brother that said that we needed qualified judges. We have it in writing on a text message. We can release it to the public. You said that. So don't lie.
Happy to share.
You're trying to sell a fight. That's all you're trying to do, and you're trying to make me the bad guy. At the end of the day, we agreed to neutral judging before we came out here. You guys kept your word. That's the base level of what should be expected between men doing business.
It's not what we agreed on, but it's what we made happen for you.
Or we're going to fight.
Like Tim said before, anytime
I'm in your backyard.
We haven't complained about.
I'm in your backyard.
The promoters
I'm in
was
your
Joey
backyard.
Spencer.
I'm in your backyard, Tim.
George, do you want to just clarify some of what's being said here and your position on what Joey is saying?
Yeah, look, very clear. We're fighting under New South Wales Combat Sports Authority rules, and that's the rules. So we went out of our way to make it happen so that you could get WBO sanctioning, so that you get neutral judges. So we flew people in 48 hours' notice. So we've been able to make that happen. And like you said, you're not a bad guy. You're actually a really nice guy, and that's something that I don't like when our opponent's a really nice guy, because I'm looking forward to Timmy getting his hand raised here. But you put a lot of pressure on us to get the judges in, and we've got the judges in. Now we've got to fight. So Sunday, there's no complaining. We've got neutral judges.
You're right. Next question.
Tim, he has been a nice guy throughout the build-up to this, but it's a very different mood here today. What do you think is going on?
I like him, man. Honestly, I reckon he's a good guy, good family man. But right now, this is business, you know. Like, we're both ready to punch on. We're both ready to fight, and I'm hangry. I'm hangry, and he's in the way, man. That's it. It's simple, man.
I forgive you. I feel the same way.
I never said sorry. And what am I saying sorry for?
He's clearly not happy, though, Tim. Joey is clearly not happy.
For what? Don't shoot the messenger. I get told stuff, and then this is what happens.
And he's also said your nickname's the Soul Taker, but you got your soul taken. Clearly a reference to your last fight. Any response?
That's fine. That's fine. Honestly, no problem. Let him sleep better at night if it makes him feel better. You know? That's all right.
What do you see happening in this fight, Tim? You look ahead to your fights, I know, and you picture the endings of them. When you look at this fight, what happens in it?
I think we're going to go to war, man. I think we're going to go to war. I think he's a good fighter, moves around, and, you know, he brings the aggression as well. I've seen a couple of his fights. He really turns it on. So when he said meet me at the centre, I was like, oh, sweet, you know. It's going to be one hell of a fight. We shall see, you know. That's the beauty about boxing. All it takes is one punch, and whoever lands the first punch is the one that is in control. So Sunday night, you'll see.
You've taken a few deep breaths and calmed down a bit now, but I know you seem to be getting a bit angry with some of the stuff you were saying.
Man, I'm good. I'm
you
good.
Sure?
I'm just. It is what it is, man. You know, divas will always be divas.
Any extra motivation in some of this stuff?
No. I'm always pumped. I'm always excited. It's been one hell of a build-up, one hell of a show, and I'm grateful to be in this position. I'm grateful to put on such a great international bout in Australia with such a great undercard on Fox. This is as good as it gets.
All right, we'll finish up now, but Joey, before we do, this is the end of the talking before we go to the weigh-in tomorrow and the fights on Sunday morning Australian time. Your final words, Joey, to Tim Tszyu after everything that's been said here today.
Said enough.
Tim, do you want to finish this off?
The nightmare will begin very, very shortly.
What did he say?
He said, I'll let him go again.
Listen better. Get him to rewatch it.
Stop mumbling, bro.
He said the nightmare will begin very shortly. Those were the words from Tim Tszyu. Any responses? We finished, Joey? Finishing there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm done.
That'll do. All right. Thank you so much for joining us at the press conference. We will now face off our main event fighters, Joey Spencer and Tim Tszyu, here up behind the top table with our promoter George Rose in between them. So you've heard from plenty of this stacked undercard, and now we'll see them face off before they weigh in tomorrow, and then on Sunday morning Australian time they fight. So 9:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, the broadcast will begin with the prelims on Fox Sports. 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, main event pay-per-view, and it all culminates, of course, in this big fight. Australia against the United States, Tszyu and Joey Spencer. Okay, let's get them to face off. Let's hear it for Tszyu and Joey Spencer. Thanks so much for joining us at today's press conference. We'll see you tomorrow at the weigh-in. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.
So there you go, another intense face-off between Tszyu and Joey Spencer. They'll get the chance to do it one more time tomorrow before weighing in, or after weighing in, I should say, and we'll bring you that live here on Fox. But Sean Porter, I mean, it was all friendly in the end there. They shook hands and had a bit of a smile, but that certainly escalated. There is definitely bad blood between